Allow us to introduce to you Maia White, a young entrepreneur carving her own path in the world of baking. Her story unfolds in the charming village of Cullybackey, nestled within the heart of Northern Ireland. And the Ticket Bakehouse has to be your number one stop.
Hi, I'm Maia and I'm the owner of the Ticket Bakehouse and I'm buzzing to get started into this podcast.
So where actually are we? So we're in Cullybackey.
Cullybackey on the train station platform, the actual train station platform, which is lethal. Like, this location is unbelievable. Such a lucky garden.
How did this all come about then? So
Very randomly. Like, I'm 22, so I'm quite a young business girl.
Yeah.
And it all just happened like out of my control, really. Like, it was like at the tail end of COVID.
Yeah.
So the idea came about at the end of COVID, and there's a local businessman called Ivor Christie. And he was out servicing our boiler at home, and he was chatting to my mum, and he was like, "Oh, what do your girls do?" Mum was like, "Maya's a baker," and he was like, does she want the place for her own cafe?" And Mum was like, "I'm sure she would."
Yeah.
Like, thinking that he was joking. And then he was like, no, I'm being serious. My son just bought an old building and like he's looking to put somebody in to run a cafe, blah, blah, blah. And I was out doing a message. Mum called me and was like, come back. She was like, you need to come home. Yeah. So went home, and then he literally just asked me, and I just was like, yeah. But I'd literally just turned 20. Like, it was
so young though, isn't it?
Which it still baffles me now. Like, that's 2 years ago. So that was the seed planted.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get too excited. I thought, right, I'll see how this goes. Like, it might not happen, blah, blah, blah. So I waited about 6 months. I came and viewed it. The place was in like total like shambles because it needed refurbished, and Robert was in the middle of doing that. Yeah, so I seen it and I was still like, right, okay, I'll not get my hopes up. And then he said to me, right, you're going for this then. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then I was doing things like designing kitchens and like ordering coffee machines, and like with my dad in the kitchen, like sitting trying to draw out like where I want bits and bobs, and it's just like...
So you really designed this whole place, really?
Yeah, which is nuts, very nuts, and it took a lot of planning and a lot of like...
Because you're making use of the best, or
trying because the place is wee and it's an odd shape. Like, there's 2 separate rooms, and then now my bakery... I used to bake in there, which is nuts to me now, because like me and Phoebe barely fit in there now together, like when we're busy, and it's crazy. What
made you sort of go down like the entrepreneurial route at such a young age?
I don't know.
The normal sort of...
Get a job.
Yeah.
I was a baker. I started in Dougie's in the town, and I loved it, and it was great, and I was so young. I was like touching 16, and I was an apprentice baker in there, and I just learned so many things from all the bakers, and it was great. It was different style baking. It was batch baking, like getting things out efficiently and making sure they're all looking neat and tidy. And then I did 2.5 years in there, 2.5, 3, I think it was about 2.5. Moved up to Middletown, which is on the corner, just up the street. Totally different style of baking again. Like, it was like refined, like fancy flavours, like glittering things and gold leaf and things, and like innovative development. It was great. So those totally like shaped my bakery mind. And also whenever I was in Dougie's, I was in college as well, doing a bakery course, which was unreal. Balanced them two. They went hand in hand. And then after that, whenever I was in Middletown, I started Blondie Bakes, which is my like first wee baby, my business. It was lethal. It started off so rubbish. Like, I mean, I was only 17, and I was like self-taught caker. So like I was like trying to watch like Cupcake Jam on YouTube, like scraping cakes, and like you should have seen the state of some of them, but I wanted to stick with it, and it was great. And I just thought, right, okay, I want to be my own boss. Like, this is really cool. This
is where this comes from. This is like, what do you call it? Cinnamon swirl.
Cinnamon swirl.
Yeah, I tried these not so long ago, and these are absolutely...
Lethal things.
Yeah, these because I heard about these actually before I even knew about like you.
Yeah, enough. Yeah.
Sort of the word of mouth and stuff. So what's the best thing to try here whenever...
The sausage rolls are popular.
Are they?
People come for the sausage rolls. I was doing plain ones for a while, and then I like funked up the flavours and did brie and cranberry over Christmas. And then black pudding. I just thought that'd be wild cool. And now we're doing treats though. Scones. People just love like hearty, traditional, knowing that their stuff's good quality too. Like, I don't use anything. If I don't have butter, I'll not use margarine. You know, that kind of way, and I'll not substitute the quality of my ingredients for to make money. Do you know what I mean? I kind of forget sometimes that I'm in business and I'm not just begging to please people. and I have bills at the end of the month that I need to pay for.
But you do all that yourself. Like,
which is crazy.
You bake and serve and like manage. And
I have my girls. I have help to serve and all that there, but the baking is me at the minute. Yeah. would love a bit of help.
Where do you get the time though?
I don't know. Everybody asks me this and they're like, how do you like, because I do my cakes on the side as well. So it's like my side business.
Sorry,
crazy.
Business.
But yeah, so I have a wee beggar down the back, and I closed for 2 weeks just to get a bit of headspace, a bit of break. You need that. I was burning myself out. I was doing too much.
Yeah. You nearly feel that coming on nearly.
Oh, you do, and you're like, right, okay, I need to nail it in the head for now. People will come back. They'll always come back, and if you starve them of it a wee bit, they're gonna be like, I can't wait to get in. And they did. They came in and they were like, oh, I've missed you, and I was like, I missed you too.
How does that sort of feel whenever you hear that from like?
Oh, unreal. My customers, like, where would I be without them? Do you know what I mean? Like, they are the foundation of this place. I couldn't. For number one, I couldn't make money. I couldn't have the lights on in this place without my customers. They mean the world, and it's so special to me that I have returning customers.
Because they'll know your name, like before filming or
it's
actually.
So like they come in and they're like, well, and they're my friends. Like they come in and they're so sweet, and they genuinely care. And like I was saying earlier, like they'll finish eating and they'll bring their dishes up, and like they'd nearly do them in the sink for me if it was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like homely, this place, and I think that's the vibe. Yeah. People feel, which is good.
What sort of made you sort of go all in the baking? What sort of made you be like, you know what, let's just like throw yourself into it? Because that's pretty unheard of. Normally people sort of dabble themselves into something, you sort of just threw yourself.
I did. I just kind of thought, you know what, if I don't do it now.
Yeah.
Like I had, because I worked for so long, like from so young, I saved up a bit of money, and I always had this gut fit. That's where it like pure baffles me, this, because everything's just lined up. And whenever I was younger, I always had this like gut feeling that I need to save for something. Yeah. Like little did I know that like, what age would that have been? 4 years later, I would actually need that money to put into something. So I saved, and then whenever I got this opportunity, I was like, right. I was like, that's what this money's for. It's like, it's going to leave me with nothing, but like, I'm putting it all in. And I just kind of thought, it's all or nothing. Yeah. And like, I'm so young anyways. If it didn't work out, I'll go and get a job somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? I'll go and I just love working. Yeah. I go and get a job anywhere, start building myself up again if it didn't work. But it's working so far, and it's cool, and it's nice to see. Do you
think that's a big thing, like sort of liking what you do to succeed?
Oh, like see anybody that asks me that, like you have to be happy in your job. Yeah. It's the thing that you do most. You do your job more than you see your family or your boyfriend or your friends. Like, and that's where it's hard, but you have to be happy in what you do. Like, if there's one thing I could say to people is be happy in your job, because it's like, what's it somebody said? You're not supposed to work to live. You're supposed to live to work. Something like that, anyways. And basically, your life, like, it's so short. And like, why do you, like, I know we need our work to fund us and so we can go and do nice things and blah, 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 but you need to enjoy yourself too. Yeah. If you're miserable in a job that you hate.
You really love this.
Oh, I completely love this. This is my wee dream. Yeah. Like, down to every single piece of everything I have in here, I love it all. And like, you need, people see that too. Like, that's sort of my brand, is like the love of the place. Do you know what I mean?
You can definitely tell that, like, even looking about and stuff, like, everything's strategic. That's what it is, if you know what I mean, because everything sort of just blends in really well. Nearly.
I just wanted to create, like I've always said, I just want to create a space for people that's safe and that they feel like they're valued and loved, and if they ever need a chat, they can chat. Like, me and the girls are so chatty. Like, we'll sit and chat away to our customers. Sometimes, like, sit down and grab a coffee with them if they look like they're lonely. Yeah. Sometimes you can judge like how they're doing. If they're all chipper and happy, it's like, right, okay, I'll go and have a chat. Yeah. If they're not, you'd be like, well, how's you today? Yeah. And then let them spill a wee bit and see how they are. But I just wanted to create a space that people feel comfortable and home, like at home. Yeah. Like, we've got a fireplace, do you know? Like, it feels like your granny's kitchen.
Yeah, it literally does. I was literally saying that to Ross outside. I was like, this literally does look like
it's a wee home. Yeah, it's class.
So what sort of way, like, you started your business young. Yeah. Someone else is looking at you being like, how can I do what you did? Yeah. What initial steps did you take to do that?
Just save your money. Like, from so young, like, you need money to do this. Yeah. Like, so I was so fortunate that for some reason in my head I thought, I'm going to save. So save your money, find something that find your niche. Yeah. Like, this wee place is quite niche. Yeah. There's not a huge amount of places locally anyways that do small quantities fresh every morning. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you need to find your niche, like something that you're really, really either good at or just really enjoy or can work on. But save, find your niche, and just be happy in it completely.
Yeah.
You have to be.
What's the best thing about running your own business?
People, right, so see, whenever I started this, people are like, oh, this is so great, you can do your own hours. I do, like the hours I do are not healthy.
Yeah. You probably do more hours
than if I was employed. It's definitely harder to be self-employed than employed, because when you're employed, you can do your job, leave it, and go home.
Forget about it nearly.
With here, this never leaves my head ever. But I love it all. It's the customers. It's like there's so many stories that come in through the doors, and some are surprising, some are really surprising, and like getting to know the customers. It's finding that line though between like professional, personal. Yeah. You have to keep it professional, but still care about the customer, about the person and what's going on in their life, and getting the balance. Yeah, totally. But the customers completely. Yeah.
What do you sort of think of like? Hold on here, because I've sort of taken a bit of a blank. I was trying to read it. I was like, you know what? I need to get it right.
Scroll.
But I was going to say, you've sort of already covered this, but how does it feel whenever people actually come into your business and buy from you, and like you put your graft into that, really? And I was saying to Ross coming up the road, like, you need to try this type of thing. How does that feel whenever?
It's actually unreal. Like, see, at the very beginning, people were buying my stuff, and I remember like actually standing in there one time and like literally like tears in my eyes, and just watch them, and like people was eating my scones, and I was like, oh my god, I made that, and they're enjoying it, and like the sparkle of having this place hasn't worn off, and I hope it never wears off on me. Like whereas, and in the sense that, I mean, I hope I don't ever take my customers for granted. I won't ever take my customers for granted. Yeah. Like every thing that I make is like made personally. Do you know what I mean? Like every single scone, like it's made for that person. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Sitting there, and it's homemade, and it's so special to watch people eating your food. Yeah. So special. It's like the nicest warm feeling. Yeah, that different type. You don't really get that probably with working maybe a 9 to 5 or something. Yeah. Maybe you haven't got that same. When it's yours, that's like one thing I was actually thinking about this last night. When you're employed, being employed's great, but like you don't realise, I don't even know how to describe it. Yeah. You may take, like every job that I have had, I take a lot of pride in. Like I wanted to do the best that I can do. Yeah. Seeing if you have your own like shop again, it's like next level. And like when you're employed, you don't realise, you know, there's wee things that maybe you do, like you slack on, but you don't realise the effect until you actually have your own place, and it's like, right, this needs to be top level. But like I make mistakes all the time. Like I am so human. I was just about to say that, like you because you've been there and you've done it and stuff. Like you say, you opened up your own place. What sort of challenges have you faced that people could maybe like learn from? Because Instagram and stuff, you don't like see it. No, you don't. Like it's like business is so hard. Like and like the interviews and stuff that I do and the people that I talk to, it's all very glamorized. Yeah. We're all very like sitting all lovely, and you know we've all got our makeup on, and yours is lovely today, by the way. But it's very glamorized for the TV, for the people to see, because it's the nice side. That's what people want to see. There's the nitty gritty too. Yeah. Like I'll be. Probably most of it. Oh, pretty much like 90% of it. Yeah. Like standing down in the bakery, like my leggings on and me t-shirt on, and like I'm stressed, I'm flushed, I'm sweating. Where's the camera there? Where's the camera there? Yeah. And people, even though I'm saying it, people maybe still don't think like that, but it's hard, and like I'll have like orders to do and so many orders, and I'm sitting thinking, okay, like I'm gonna be here till 10 o'clock at night, like I'm exhausted, but it's just, it always just kind of mellows out. It always works out somehow. But there's just, as glamorous as this all may look, there's definitely the hard parts, and that's with having a business. You can't help that. And like, there's so much going on, and even like setting up the camera and stuff. Trying to manage, and it's really like hectic nearly. It is hectic. You're nearly like calm about the whole thing, don't really feel I think I'm just kind of used to the hecticness now. Like, don't get me wrong, I will still get anxious about things. I'm human. Do you know what I mean? We are all human. Nobody's perfect. Nobody has it all either. I am so blessed that I have a lot. I feel like wealthy, and I don't mean that in terms of like money. I'm wealthy in my family. I'm wealthy in my relationship, my friends. Like this, is unreal. But like I'm a startup business too. Do you know what I mean? I've only been doing this a year. I'm not a rich gal. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so many things that, like Like people assume whenever you get a business that like shit is minted. It's like, no, I'm skint. I'm so skint.
Yeah.
There's so many things you need to pay for and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, there's the glamour side and there's the not so glamour side, but they balance each other out. Because if you're not happy and not doing this, you won't do the not glamour side. You'll be like, no way, that's too much. But you need to kind of have a wee cry sometimes in the bakery. Like to go down and say,
Feel kind of bad.
I know.
What do you mean if you're not in here and you're not like grinding and like working and stuff? What do you do? Sort of relax and stuff. What do you sort of, how do you
Good
calm down
question.
Whenever you do, you sort of just chill out.
That's something that I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
Spending time with my family, my friends, and my boyfriend. That's really it. And just you need to ground yourself, you need to root yourself, and kind of strip it all back and take because of this place. Like I am more well known than I was, and that's what comes with it because I'm technically the face of this place.
Yeah.
So like people will pass me and be like, well, Maia, and they'll stop and chat, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's tiring, but it's amazing. So going home and grounding yourself with your family and just remembering like the dog needs bath because he's run through the mud, like those grounding things. Like life isn't always like glamorous and all that there, but yeah.
What about like? I'm actually really enjoying this. What
Good.
is this?
What are you on, a latte?
I think it's a latte.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So
Good.
whoever up here, try
Get a
one
latte.
of these boys.
That's what I'm on.
How do you sort of find like how important is it to have like a strong team around you and stuff? You were saying a couple of the girls and stuff.
Yeah. So like I did do this myself for a couple to a few months. That's so rough. Like I was borderline and sick. Like you run yourself to the ground and like you forget to like do things for you, like eat properly during the you need help. Like you can't do it yourself. There's no I in team. Like that is the cringiest saying, but it's so true. There's no I in team. Like you have to I need Phoebe during the day to help me. Like I couldn't do this without Phoebe. Yeah. So then Phoebe is just as important as I am in this business. Do you know what I mean? And like I have my 2 girls at the weekend. They're great. That means like on a Saturday I can go down to the bakery and I can focus on my cakes and focus on blah blah blah, and they're busting out coffees and do you know what as well? I stand back sometimes on purpose to look at them and to watch them, and I'm from an outside perspective, and I feel so proud. But you can wear yourself so thin if you don't have help. And I know, like, see, when I was younger, I probably had that cocky thing in me, like, I can do this myself. Like, I want to take all the credit for this and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you want the credit, obviously. But you have to share it, like. Like, if Phoebe does a lethal latte, I'm like, well done, girl. Like, that is so cool. Like, you're Instagram, great. Get that on the gram and post, like, a photo of her. And you can't take all the credit. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. You can't do it yourself. It's exhausting.
See, whenever you're, like, managing your own business and stuff, I'm sure there's a lot of risk.
There is a lot of risk.
How do you manage that? How do you sort of...
I think it's genuine. The blonde in me is like, it'll be all right. Like, sometimes I kind of think, like, whenever I started up, it was a bit of naivety in me that was like, right, I'll be grand. I just kind of thought, I'll go for it. I'll give it a go. I'll be grand. And it did work. Now, that's a chance I had to take. And I was risking a lot of money, a lot of my time, a lot of other people's times too.
Like come, like a sort of like a mentor type way, or like a... Yeah,
a mentor type way, but like getting people in to like, you know, what if I was getting the kitchen built and it goes bust and I don't have the money to pay them, then that's a waste of their time, it's a waste of mine. And like bringing people in to like hire them and interview them, which also is so weird. Like I'm 22 and I'm hiring people one of the first girls I brought in, I was like, right, okay, she's coming in for an interview like 12:15 our time, and sat down with her and I was like, I've never done this before. I was like, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was sitting with my wee sheets and I was just like, I have never done this before. I was like, I'm 2 years older than you. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I was like, so basically if you want this job, we're going to be figuring it out together. But like that, like...
It's good though, because it's honesty straight up off the bat. Really,
you have to be honest. Honesty is also a number one. Like you have to be honest with your customers, honest with the people that are around you, like working for you, and honest with yourself. Like you need to be honest with yourself. Just say, look, I haven't got this together. I haven't got everything together. Like there's so many things that I need to learn, so many things I need to learn from, and so many things that I have learned, which I'm so proud of. But you never stop learning every day. Literally every day.
You're nearly like.
And do you know how I know that is from like people that I've worked with before, past employers. Like I'm still in touch with a couple of them, and it actually warms my heart. They're so supportive, and like things that they've told me, like, you will never stop learning every day, is like, it's so true. And taking advice from them, they've done it before. They know the mistakes and the potholes, like, so taking their advice and yeah, it's pretty amazing. I have a strong group of people around me. I'm very, very blessed.
Is that a big thing you need?
Oh yeah, you need your family, definitely, because they're the ones that are going to tell it to you straight.
Yeah.
Like
The hard truth.
the hard truth, and sometimes it's really hard to hear, and you're like, right, wise up, like no. But there's the family, which is the hard truth, and then there's like the professional people in your life that will tell you the hard truth, maybe soften it a bit because they don't want to freak you out. Yeah. But it is the truth.
As a family, just lay it on thick, really.
Thick.
Yeah.
That icing, yeah. But yeah, you need to listen to the people around you because they've done it, and even if they haven't done it, there's wisdom there through other people. Do you know what I mean?
You followed your passion. How can someone do the same if they were?
You literally just have to do it. Like you just need to kind of. I don't even know if that sounds cheeky. You just need to get over yourself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you really, really want to do something right, stop telling yourself that you can't do it. Because if you tell yourself you can't do it, you won't do it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like, why don't you instead, I kind of live by fake it till you make it. Like if I'm, say for example, this interview, right? If I was really, really nervous, I'd be like, right, I'm not nervous. Yeah. I've got this, like I'm not nervous. So tell yourself that, and then you slowly start to believe yourself and you're like, right, I'm not nervous. Yeah. So kind of like, if you've got a business idea and you're like, I can't do it. No, get rid of that and just say, I can do it and work towards doing it. And like start researching and saving and almost going as if you are doing it there and then. You just have to push for it. And if it's your dream, like don't let anybody else tell you but you can't do it either. Did
you ever find that? Did you ever find people being like, no, like don't do that, don't in your own place, or don't?
Well, yeah, it started even whenever I was like leaving school. Like left school when I was 16 and like went to tech. Like there's so many people saying to me like, why aren't you staying for your A levels? Why are you going to tech? Like bakery. Yeah. That's how far can you go with bakery. Like and like making buns and cakes. I was like, I want to do it. I was like, I'm sorry, but I want to do it. I was like, I love food and I love doing that there. I don't want to be sitting in a classroom for 2 more years and then going to uni. What course should I do? Like I was thinking about doing fine arts, culinary fine arts. If I had done the A-level route, could have led me on a totally different, maybe even better path. I'm happy where I am. Yeah. But
you were glad nearly you stuck to your own.
My guns.
Yeah, your guns. Yeah. How did you sort of find whenever I was like, look, can we do like?
I was buzzing. Yeah. I was like, this is cool because I have my own space and I have my own business. And I still do feel like I just do it for the crack. Yeah. I just love what I do and I want to share it with people. Like I love feeding people, like even though it's not very healthy food, like but it's good quality and it's treats and people are happy when they eat it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Whenever I came up here the first time and my own mum and dad and stuff have been here, there's something different. I don't know what it is. It's like this isn't just your usual cafe or bakery, type thing. Yeah. This is different.
It's just like I just wanted to create an experience for people. Yeah. Like yes, the food is the main thing, like, and the coffee. Like the coffee is standard coffee. We try and make it as best we can. But the bakes are nearly the hero. Yeah. But it's an experience in itself. Like this building that we're sitting in is over 150 years old. Yeah. It's stunning. It's unbelievable. It's
iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, completely iconic. And like the amount of customers that say like they've driving past, being like, oh, I wish that building would be something. And then they come in and they see it and they're like, oh my God, like this is something now. And that, like, do you know how special that makes me feel? Just like that I have the privilege to be able to do that for people is pretty incredible.
How do you envision the business going over like the next year or two at least?
Like how long have you got? I swear there's so many opportunities for this place. It's amazing. Like I would love one that really sticks in my head. I would love a pizza garden. So like really cute wee outdoor area out the back with a couple of tables. Yeah. Like I love making pizza dough. Love making pizzas. Like bang out a few pizzas on a Friday night once a week.
Connell doing that?
Yeah, get Connell in on the pizza dough. Oh, completely. He'll have the Guinness tap going. Serving pints. But yeah, that would be so cool. Yeah. Because there's nothing like that about. Really, at the minute, I don't think. Sorry if I'm wrong. Yeah. But yeah, I just love having a place that people can gather. Yeah. It's lovely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's handy too because like this is the railway.
Yeah, get the train down. Yeah, get the train. There's like customers, and this warms me. There's customers that come from like Belfast, come get the train, sit for the hour, and then get the next train back. And it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
Like you came from Belfast
Yeah.
to come here to eat my food and to go back. It's like unreal.
If we ask this question on like every podcast,
Love it. Mm-hmm.
but because we sort of think it's interesting what people say.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if someone came to you looking for one piece of advice in anything, what would you say?
You just have to follow your dream. You have to do what makes you happy. Follow your dream. Not everybody's dream is like elaborate, but I feel like you need to do something in your life that makes you really happy, whether that be something big or small.
Yeah.
So you need to just do what makes you happy. This makes me so happy.
Yeah.
This is my life. It's a lot of hard work, but it is basically my personality at this point. It's my bakery cafe. But you have to do something that you enjoy. You can't go through life not enjoying what you do. Yeah. Everybody has their own purpose, and you need to find it. And you need to find what your purpose is and just go for it.
Do you think you found yours?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And I think it's incredible. Like I feel like my path has completely been written for me, and I feel like I'm just following it. I feel like everybody's is like that, but personally I just feel like everything that I'm doing has like already been done, like written. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, no,
but
I sort of get.
It's very deep, but like I just feel like I'm just following what I'm meant to be doing, what I was born to do, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other piece of advice you really think that would be good for young entrepreneurs?
My piece of advice is you have to be yourself. Like if you're in business and you get a lot of attention and you get a lot of people that are very friendly to you and blah, blah, blah. It's like you need to stay humble and be yourself. Do you know what I mean? I hope through this whole process, I've been at this over a year now, I hope I haven't changed. I hope I'm still me, like me and our child. Do you know what I mean? You still have to be your humble self. Like you'd be nowhere without all these people. It's not all me. Like this isn't all me. I wouldn't be anywhere without Phoebe, or I wouldn't be anywhere without my Saturday girls. And Leah, there was a wee girl that worked for me there for 6 months. I'd be nowhere without her. She helped me for months. She's at uni now, and I'm so proud of her. Well done, Leah. So you have to be humble, be yourself, and that will attract people more completely if you're just open, honest, and yourself.
Yeah, because I feel like that's even what this conversation has been like. Really, it's just been like
a chat.
There's no like, see, whenever you're up interviewing different people and you're talking to different people and different personas, you nearly get like a different person sometimes. Don't get me wrong, there is the professional side of you, and then there's your silly side, and like constantly I am my professional self, but I feel like there's the fine line between the two, like the sweet spot where you just are professional enough that you don't go too deep into what people are going through, but you care and you want to be there for them, and you'll all have a space for them, and like even just like with customers and their repeat orders, you're like, how are you today? Cappuccino again? Or is there 2 pieces of butter with that banana? Like silly wee things like that, people. Yeah.
But
what about you get it like everything's all like positive and good and like reviews are good? Is there any times where you hear like criticism and like you'll be like
genuinely no, and I feel like the most blessed girl for that. And there probably will be, don't get me wrong, not perfect as I said, like there probably will be a day where I don't know, there's like a piece of tissue paper in my cinnamon swirl. Do you know what I mean? We're all human and we all make mistakes, and it's so easily done. Try my best. Here's an example. Okay, no, here's an example. I'm talking a load of crap. First or second day, I set this dude down his coffee, and I must have like poured the milk into the wee jug, and there was like a wee layer of foam, which you shouldn't do, but it was my second day, I was learning. And then poured it into his espresso, that was grand, set it down, and he came up and he was like, this coffee's freezing cold. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. And then I lifted it and I was like, this coffee's freezing cold. I was like ice cold. I forgot to steam the milk. Like, do you know what? Like, how cute? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he makes silly mistakes all the time. Literally forgot to steam the milk, but it's the recovery from that. You're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll get you another one. Can I give you a bun? You have to like, people, even if you do make a mistake and people come at you for it, you just graciously be like honest and just say, I made a mistake. I'm really sorry. Can I give you something to make up for it?
But you have to like sweep it under the carpet. It's just hitting it head on.
You just have to take responsibility for it. And even if you aren't wrong and maybe someone does complain, which I know happens, you just have to say, like, for the sake of your image, for the sake of the business, just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll get that sorted for you. It's not a bother. And here's something else just to make up for it.
Where can people find you? I'm sure when people see this stuff, maybe want to try up here. Where can people find you on like the socials and stuff?
It's the Ticket Bakehouse. Yeah, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah.
Not very good at TikTok, but there's a couple of videos.
Yeah, how you get on with it? How you sort of find it in the whole like, so you do social media yourself?
I do. It's like a full-time job in itself.
Yeah.
It's so intense. Sure, you would know. Like it's intense. But I'm not the best at it. I probably should post more. But it's good crack. Social media is where it's at.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age, you need it, and
Good reach
everybody.
and stuff and sort of-
Like you post. I remember posting a new drink, and like 10 that day went instantly in, being like, I need one of them. That just shows you social media is unreal.
Yeah.
It really, really promotes your business, and it's free.
Yeah,
Marketing.
exactly. That's the main thing.
great,
I think that's
yeah.
what people maybe don't understand, especially being on like multiple platforms as well. We find because
Yeah.
like sometimes like this really pop on like TikTok. And,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You just have to kind of keep playing around with it and see where you go.
Look,
But
I'll not take up any more of your time.
No, you're
Thank you
grand.
so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thanks for having me.
Can't wait to get stuck into this here.
Good job.
But that has been all from the official Young Entrepreneur podcast. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in